Hey guys, how's it going? Stories like this really anger me, and the reason is that the mainstream media always portrayed Obama as a Nobel Peace Prize winner, a pacifist. And then you see Obama, what he's doing is quite outrageous in my opinion. And what he did a few years ago, levying sanctions on Russia, a nuclear power with many nukes, right? Both of us, the United States and Russia, we could just launch one nuclear weapon, whole game's over. And trying to mess with Russia after the Cold War is not the wisest move. And I'm scared after Donald Trump leaves office because you may get a neoconservative or you may get a progressive that wants to continue to worsen relations with Russia. But let's look at this. Obama strikes back at Russia for election hacking. Now, you have to ask yourself, after going through the WMD's debacle, and if you want to go back 40, 50 years ago with the Gulf of Tonkin, we know that the US government and the media is good at manipulating the minds of the American people. And you have to ask yourself, what evidence is there that Russia did hack this election? A reasonable conclusion would be of this whole election was that many people, like myself, were so ticked off at Hillary Clinton and the Democrat Party and the Republican Party for the mess they created and just voted for Donald Trump not because they liked Donald Trump or his policies, but it was basically a big FU to the whole establishment. Even though Trump is currying favor to the establishment, it was just a protest vote this election cycle. And I'm a guy who never votes. So you have to ask yourself, is Barack Obama and the Democrat Party trying to make things a lot worse for Donald Trump and Russia? And secondly, you have to ask yourself, why would the Obama administration go through all of this? They wanted to get rid of Assad, right? Or it maybe wasn't him per se. It was the women of his administration. Susan Rice, Samantha Powers, and Hillary Clinton didn't like these Mideast dictators. They weren't good guys, right? But they wanted to replace them with jihadists now that are in control in many parts of the region. That's what these women did. And you have to ask yourself, why on earth would they do that? It makes no sense whatsoever. It's very confusing and perplexing why this administration would do the things that they do, especially when you have many individuals that are pacifists and progressive. You would think that they'd be more in the lines of Bernie Sanders, but they're not. Now, going back to the sanctions in 2014, when Barack Obama first implemented them, you saw oil prices really, really high. And I'll show you what I compiled of the commercial or the commitment of traders report. Let me just move this here. And what I tabulated was number one, the amount of net short position. So these are the long commercial money. I told you commercial money tends to be more right than wrong. And if you look at extreme ends on the long side or the short side, I would be looking at that data. And this was in 2014, right? Oil was double where it was right now, or close to double. And the largest short position by the commercials at the time where the sanctions were being implemented was negative 492,000. Fast forward to last week, I don't have the data as of yet. The commercials right now, they have a huge short position, right? You've seen oil rally big time. And if you look at last week's short position of the commercials, is minus 454,000. Minus, yeah, that's a lot. That's within a 40,000 contract range of the highest net short position, which was a few years ago. And the data that I've been looking at, I believe, goes back to 1995. So this is a huge, huge short position while oil has been rallying, and the sanctions have been implemented. This time around, though, you have a new president coming in, Donald Trump, and we shall see if he will be able to relieve these sanctions right away. I think it'll be taking some time because you have to look at the guys in Congress. These guys are shills. These guys are paid off prostitutes. You have the neoconservatives and Paul Ryan, Mitch McConnell, Lindsey Graham, John McCain. These guys, they're war hawks. And Obama, what he did, he just acted like a war hawk. Levying sanctions on a country that has many nukes is not the wisest thing to do. Putin, on the other hand, is saying, you know what? We're going to wait for Trump. We're not going to expel U.S. diplomats in Russia, unlike what Obama just did, which I find is quite outrageous. And I don't know if he's trying to curry favor with the Democrat Party, so maybe Michelle could have a good run at the presidency down the line, and maybe it's a quid pro quo agreement. You don't know. I just feel it's very irresponsible for the president, who's going to leave, that sounds great, to levy sanctions and to start or to reignite a new Cold War. We don't need this. This is not the 1980s, not the 1970s, not the 1960s. And these sanctions, I'm wondering what it's going to do to oil prices in the short term. And yes, I'm going to monitor this on a weekly basis, but right now, a lot of people are bullish on oil. I've noticed that. The hedge funds have huge net long positions, while the hedgers, the guys who see the markets on a day-to-day basis, they're they have a huge net short position. So I don't know. And the same thing goes with natural gas. I also compiled the numbers. Huge net short position. So it looks like energy may be in for a correction. Anyways, guys, this will probably be the last video for this year. Anyways, have a nice new year. And hopefully 2017 will be a great year. Talk to you later. Bye.